interesting phase here. Team Spirit going up against Yangon Galacticos. Yesterday, it does seem like who's ever on blue side or first pick does have a more commanding draft. So now we're going to see who will be on that blue side. And looks like it is going to be broken walls for game number one. Yangon Galacticos first pick here. They instantly grab the Sora.
Wow, 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 wow. Sora already getting picked up super early on. Even the Claude. Now the Claude is already kind of out of the picture. YSS alongside with the Cho. It looks like Yangon has a very specific idea of how they want to play this particular draft. And on the opposite side, at least for Team Spirit, probably not 100% sure where they're leaning from the side of Yangon, but at least they get access to Brock, right?
They do have access to Brock. They also have access to Eve. You can also combo that together. That would be a really good pickup for them, especially because there's no Claude to threaten that up. However, we've seen yesterday that the Leo board has been the priority for teams. So my guess here is Eve Brock, or they put Leo more along that mix. What is that I'm hearing? That doesn't sound like any of the that I said at all.
Yeah, while we're here, we got to talk about the bans here because Team Spirit still respects the picks coming in from Yangon Galacticos, banning out the Hellcurt as well as the Baxia, and then understanding Yangon Galacticos would want to play a lot of utility. They ban out the Jushin as well. So here in the knockout stage, in tennis indoor Senayan, looks like Leomord is much higher in priority now. Team Spirit instantly picks up the Kalia as well as the Leomord, which makes it so that they have a lot of priority, especially in the jungle. But more importantly, if they do go for a assassin, that Kalia is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I like this a lot because the Leomord is one of the few junglers who's down to kind of just man-fight assassins, right? Especially if you got Barbiel ready to go. The extra stats kind of put you out of the kill range for a majority of them until we start reaching mid to late game. But now, as Wolf has mentioned, the Kalia, a great way to kind of open things up. But now we look on the opposite side, Yangon respond. Hilda straight away on top of the Farsa.
Typically, this will be covered up with a Freya because you want to deal as much damage and you want the fighters on the side lanes. It's also a dive that can match up well versus this Farsa. At the same time, if you're looking at Team Spirit, they really don't like to play fighters on Hiko. Yep. So this is such an important slot for Team Spirit because now they can either secure the Freya or something like a Granger or a Harriet for Hiko.
Now looks like they are going to pick up the Eve here because I really feel like for Team Spirit, they have to consider, do they still want to go for a marksman, something like a Granger? Because I feel it very interesting here. They pick up the Leomord, and the answer from Yangon Galacticos is that Hilda. Traditionally, you want to chase after an assassin, but if your opponent is going to be that fighter, it makes it so much easier for you to focus on one target, and that usually is the marksman. But I kind of feel like if Team Spirit, Hiko has been practicing those fighters, I think it's good to kind of punish the mistake of Yangon here picking up the Hilda, because I feel like if no Hilda has displacement, I don't think she can displace Leomord enough so that he misses Barbiel.
He definitely doesn't miss Barbiel, but pre-level 4, I mean, Hilda's going to be quite up in this Leomord's face just in general, right? Which means that Kalia probably has to kind of top up that Leomord and kind of power up just to get him to level 4 as quick as possible, which leaves Sunset Lover either on his own against Lina, and that could open up many different possibilities if the side lanes start to crumble. Like, as you mentioned, Freya, what are you going to do against her? She beats you up in lane, clears the way, walks into your jungle. With the rest of the mid trio, you've basically lost your buff.
This is the problem now for Team Spirit because they third pick the Eve, and I'm not totally against it. I think the Eve with the Kalea is such a strong combo. Sunset Lover will definitely have a great time with that. However, they're facing up against a Hilda, which kind of requires you to have some shred damage. It's also true against the Sora. I would have preferred the Lunox, or if they picked up the Hiko hero in that slot, they could have gotten the carry or the Granger. Now, there are problems that they have to face. Exactly, but I think that maybe the fourth pick for Team Spirit should be something like an Esmeralda or any kind of shred, you know?
Yeah. I'm thinking very similar to it, right? Because now that Yuzong, this gives us a very clear direction of we don't want you to really win the lane. Sure, you can get Lapu Lapu if you want, but at the end of it, we want to just make sure that either A, we are countering one target hero, which in this case is probably going to be Farsa, or B, I'm going to be a team player and actually have that shred with Uranus and try to get you with the Ionic Edge and let Sunset Lover do his thing.
Very quickly here, Wolf, do you like the bans, the second bans coming in from Team Spirit as well as Yangon, since you're banning out the Fanny Yuzong, and Yangon banning out the carry?
Oh, for sure. The Fanny could be played by Yangon Galacticos at any given moment, so that's actually scary to have. And the Yuzong, but you can see CC was the priority ban here for Yangon Galacticos instead of the Esmeralda, which kind of opens that up for Team Spirit. It is a hero that Kid Momo can actually play in this scenario up against the Hilda and the Sora.
But I do like the Shredders, right? Getting banned out, so now you're kind of just hoping for the Eve. And if somehow Yangon Galacticos has an answer for the Eve, Team Spirit might have some trouble.
I think that at this point, it's a really difficult decision, right? Because what are you playing for? You playing for lane? You playing for your team? You playing to have a little bit of both, right? Being able to play for your team while still winning out that lane. Esmeralda fits that build really, really nicely. And better yet, it makes it so much worse for Yangon to be like, yeah, Uranus is great with Farsa, but I don't think he's going to leave lane.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to be looking for a jungler for Yangon Galacticos, and I think that most valid option should be the Hayabusa in the scenario up against Eve. You have that dive, which means that now Sora can be played in the gold lane and the XP lane. I think this Esmeralda will go to the XP lane. That means that you kind of have to match it with a hero that can counter that. But something tells me, you know, maybe this is the time where we see Benedetta, you know?
So do behave.
Oh, Alice instead. All right.
Alice.
No
I
fun.
like
It's fine.
I like the
No
shot
fun?
for the Vendetta because they only use it once.
Oh,
And the Harley.
Oh,
This is
Of
going to
course.
be an M7
Of course.
special. How do you feel about the Harley pick here, Gideon?
this one's interesting because we were talking about this earlier before the show, right? Like how Harley, as soon as he hits level 4, because of that deadly magic, he's kind of able to kind of gank the lanes whenever he feels like it and really ruin the laning phases for some of these side laners.
Yeah.
I think it's okay, mainly because, hey, who's his main target here? He's looking right at that Eve.
Yeah.
This forces Sunset Lover to play very closely to Sawo just in case he makes the jump, because if he's not in the right position at the right time, he instantly dies, and finally, at the end, the counter pick.
So it looks like this is going to be an Esmeralda gold. Wait, no, since Sora is gold, might as well Valen gold. Well,
That's
the laning phase is going to be interesting, but we did talk about this. The laning phase is so important coming here in the M7 World Championship. So thank you very much, Wolf, as well as Gideon, giving your insights. Looking at draft, I got to say, M7 is looking pretty spicy here. I'm very happy of how the drafts happen here in game number 1 of this elimination match. So I hope Gani as well as Trex is ready, because I do want to see how well this Harley really matches up, especially going up against, I would say, Fighter Silent. Consider the Valentina in this situation a fighter. So Trex and Gani, the floor is yours.
Thank you, LaFell,
5 seconds
Gideon,
till the
and
enemy reaches
Wolf.
the battlefield.
It's day
Smash
3 of the
them.
knockout stage. We're jumping in the land of dawn. This is Trex, and joined with me today is Gani. How are we feeling about the draft, Gani?
Welcome
You know
to
what?
Mobile
It's a good
Legends.
opener, right? I think both teams, they're taking a bit of a risk, which I'm down. I'm all for it, right? It's the best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see, Yangon Galacticos and Spirit.
Yeah, you know, talking about the mid, it has been such a huge prio. And yesterday, the Hilda in the past, it would always be only against an assassin. But at this point, I just feel like it does so good against so many heroes, just pressuring, being able to control this river, and paired up with something like the Farza, you get these quick rotations, you get the ability to put pressure down, and I think it can be a huge advantage to Yangon in the beginning of this match.
Yeah, and you can see here, right? Stitch opted for that temporal rain. It has been quite popular here for Sora players. But yeah, I mean, let's see here. What will Stitch do in this match? Will he be able to be that sort of backbone to open things up for Yangon Galacticos?
Yeah, overall, pacing is going to be huge. When we looked at the index, it did say Team Spirit had an insane early to mid game. I gotta say though, I feel like with all the fighters coming in and with all the weird offlaners, that index has felt very skewed lately. It's very hard for it to actually understand. I think it's like, what is even going on right now? We got fighters in the gold lane, mages in the gold lane. You have so much happening in the current drafts of M7 that it's just unpredictable overall. But Team Spirit already showing some aggression, and it seems like they're moving around very much as a unit.
Seems like they want to retaliate though, but nothing too crazy just yet here for the first 2 minutes. And yeah, I like the variety, right? If we're talking about EXP Gold, and you can see now mid laners even, or mages shift towards the side laners. Oh, Sunset Lover. That's going to be first blood for Han. So that Harley pickup, again, just proved so value. And that's just 5v4 for Turtle. I feel like Spirit, they can't Turtle now.
Yeah, and it felt like Yangon Galacticos honestly maybe didn't want to contest it. You're up against the Leomord, you're up against the Kalea and Esmeralda. It would have been a hard turtle to fight for, but taking out Sunset Lover that early on gives them a nice advantage on this. He is back on the map, but at this point, Team Spirit, they're going to go for purple. They're going to find other plays in the map, and Han is able to take first turtle along with first blood of the game.
Yeah, that's a very healthy lead. And Spirit, they gotta find compensation. That's gonna be Phantom Steed popped. Blink now shifted. Oh, take a look at the damage there. Kid Bomba is able to get out. That's Flicker though.
Huge Flicker. A lot of skills used on Yangon, but we're already seeing the possibilities. And this is what I mean by the Hilda, right? Even against the Leomord, even against another hero, Blink's not stressing. The Hilda at this point, it's almost like it's just unbalanced in a sense. This hero bullies just about anyone, from roamers to fighter jungles, to anyone that you put in its face. It can put pressure down. Fallen Star Moon does come on top of Blink though.
Well, Blink flickers out. That will be all. Spirit, they're trying to find an approach. Oh, take a look at Ying. He has no flicker. Phantom Steed popped again. That's going to be info. Oh, in the mid lane, Sao will be bursted down there by Han again. 2 kills on the board for Han.
Han is honestly a much more aggressive Harley than what we saw from TNZ previously. You know, we only saw the Harley from Aurora Turkey. A little bit of action on Kid Bomba, shouldn't be anything major. But he kind of played it a little bit differently. Not as much pressure on the mid, not as much early game pressure, but we're seeing Han use this deadly magic immediately, already getting 2 kills, the only 2 kills on the board. And not only 2 kills, but 2 kills to the mid, which we've been talking about is so important in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Definitely ruined the flow of Spirit there with the death like Sunset Lover and Sao earlier on. Item check, glowing one already in for Lina.
And I mean, and Sunset Lover with that first death already behind about almost 500 gold at this time. The only one keeping up is Hiko in the gold lane. But him not being on a big marksman, is it going to make the big difference? I'm still... the gold lane Valentina, it's good. We haven't seen Hiko on it too much. I don't think, have we seen Hiko on it at all? No, we haven't seen Hiko on it yet. How is he going to perform on this? Can he still be a carry for the team on a hero like this?
Seems like they will rotate towards the turtle side though. Uh-oh, that's gonna be the immunity coming in. One shot finds the turtle, but that's in the back. That's gonna be 1v3. Take a look at Lina with the wings by Wings. Will not be able to escape. 3 kills on the board, and suddenly Spirit, they're back in it.
And Team Spirit find a great way to do this. Kid Bomba goes into the back line, completely disrupts them, able to jump on top of the Feathered Airstrike. And while that's happening, the rest of the team is getting caught up on the top side of the turtle pit. So Team Spirit maybe finds the answer, split them up a little bit, find different targets. And this is what Kid Bomba does so well. We saw it in the Swiss stage. He's able to constantly find the angles, constantly find the flanks, and disrupt the formation of the enemy team. So that's what we're looking for in the answers of these fights from Team Spirit.
Yeah, again, a great execution there by Spirit. Keep in mind, first 3 minutes, they were looking like they were a bit shaky. And now they're in gold-wise. It's shifted towards their side. Let's see here. We're about to enter the mid-game, and you can see the players' goal now. It's very much even.
Taking a look at it, I mean, yeah, overall, everyone's sitting around the same right now. Yangon Galacticos, Ying went a little bit too deep in the last fight, but wait a second, Kid Bomba shouldn't be phased by the deadly magic at this point, should be okay. But Ying, we sometimes see with the Alice, they go a little bit too deep. Blink, though, gonna get pushed back.
Uh-oh, they're going all in towards a roamer. And there you go, Blink, weeping with the flicker, will not be able to escape. But that's a lot of ult, though, just for the roamer. Let's see, YG, will they be able to step up?
Stitch taking some damage. Hiko trying to jump on him. He can be the carry. Well played by Stitch. Yangon Galacticos starting to fall behind here a bit.
Uh-oh, Sao now looking for the clear. YG will not apply more pressure. They will look for the next neutral objective will come up in a few seconds. Spirit still 2K gold lead.
From laning phase to now, but wait a second, Ying looking for a play.
Oh. Let's see, Ying. Oh, that's going to be Sao though. Just looking for the zone. Kid Bomba stuck, isolated in the front. Will be gunned down. Now it's going to be 5v4. Sao will be eliminated. It's a 3-4-5. That means it's a free turtle.
A nice turtle for Yangon Galacticos. Team Spirit, I feel like both teams keep paying the price. for trying to punch a little bit too hard here. One moment it's Yangon Galacticos overcommitting. Now Team Spirit overcommitting. After each team gets about 1,000 gold lead, they think they can just push the go button, but you gotta be careful.
Blink again now trying to escape. With the feather airstrike, seems like Blink will be out of the picture. It's a 5v4. Oh, Lina, wings by wings. Oh, great timing on the Purify. 2 ults there spared. But that's still just Spirit trying to find more control in the map.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Blink, it's okay for Blink to die. A Hilda can lose a couple lives. At least they are able to capitalize on a tower in the bot lane. But Team Spirit sees that instantly. They send one shot up to the top, and they make the trade go into their favor once again. So the back and forth has been clean. Taking a look at the items, both the XP laners. On to almost second item for Ying, but Kid Bomba already on to Oracle, already going to start feeling tankier, and he's only taken 1 death. Should be okay at this point, and that's going to get scarier and scarier because there's really no big shred damage. Luckily, they do have enough crowd control, but the way we've seen Kid Bomba play on this Esmeralda before, I think that could end up being the major issue for Yangon Galacticos going into these Lord fights down the line.
Definitely got to look for that angles, right? Kid Bomba definitely can utilize this Esmeralda from the flanks. And let's see here. The tempo gone down. 35 seconds on the clock for that first Lord of the game. And it does seem like both teams are trying to take it slow. Both teams are waiting for that spell to be up. Ying is up, so all 10 spells are up. Expect a big 5v5 here in the first Lord of the game.
This is a match for me that positioning is going to be key coming up on these Lord fights. Vision, information, to whereas for Yangon Galacticos, you got to know where Kid Bomba is. You need to know where Sawo is. On the side of Team Spirit, they need to try to know where Han is. Blink's always going to be in their face. Lina, can you make sure those feathered airstrikes count? Timing, I mean, it is crucial. There's so many important mechanics when it comes down to mainly these Lord fights, especially with the fact that gold is at a standstill. Nobody has a huge advantage currently.
Yeah, both teams are just waiting to pull the trigger. Spirit, though, is on the Lord. Glaive already in hand of Han. That's going to be 50% HP of the Lord's HP gone. Oh, one shot finds the Lord. Sunset Lover in the back. Real world manipulation, but Blink tries to cancel it out. Ying trying to find distraction. Here comes Stitch. Sawo goes down, but Ying is stuck isolated, forced to use the flicker. Hiko jumps in. Finds the angle to take Lina down. It's going to be 2 for 1, but Ying now with no spell in hand. Can he survive? Now Sunset Lover jumping back in, trying to provide the damage. Blink running away, but one shot's damage is just too huge, and 1 by 1 they will fall here, but Ying is too tanky. One shot jumps in, the dive is not enough. The retribution though comes in, but that is just Ying able to get out. They gotta deal with the Lord though.
All right, so Team Spirit, the moment they know Han is in the bot lane, they immediately start rushing the Lord. They get it. Yangon Galacticos wants to try to take advantage. Okay, fine, maybe we get a couple kills here, and it bites them in the back. I gotta say something though. Hiko's not playing Valentina. This man is essentially just playing Sora, and he might be playing it better than Stitch right now.
Yeah, especially from that last fight. 3 kills on the board already for Hiko. Gotta keep his positioning right though. There's a shutdown, there's a bounty if they take Hiko down. But that Lord only touched the top side of the base. Yangon Galacticos, don't count them out just yet.
Yeah, they're definitely staunching the bleeding right now. And again, luckily we didn't go into that Lord fight with 1.5K gold lead already. So at this point, Team Spirit holding a 2K gold lead. So the fans of Yangon Galacticos can still kind of wipe the sweat from their brow. But they got to think about how they're going to approach these next neutral objectives. I don't know if Han is the one they want to send up to the opposite lane. They need him ready to be able to retry for these Lords, because Team Spirit, we saw it in the last one. Once they get vision on you, fine, we'll rush it. We're comfortable rushing it. We're cool with the 5v4, and we're going to make sure you don't make it in time.
Oh, that's Kid Bomba just being a constant nuisance. Hiko finds an angle to find a finishing touch. It's a 5v4 now. Ying jumps in with the Alice. Oh, throwing a ruin there in the back. Terrified, one shot is there to provide the damage once again. So gonna be a 3-4-5, but Blink will not be able to escape.
Stitch goes in and is unable to do much. Now he's on the run. Team Spirit not gonna let him go.
Oh no, Stitch isolated and another kill. That's a triple, by the way. Add that to the drawing board. Almost a wipeout. Team Spirit showing why they deserve to be here.
I mean, Team Spirit's just, they're staying as a group, they're working as a group, and they're doing it so cleanly. And Yangon Galacticos is just falling right into the trap, one by one by one. Even Stitch, the fight was already over. Stitch should have never engaged there. And at that, he engages with the shifting clouds way before he even gets to the fight at that point, and completely wastes the skill. By the time he gets in the middle of three of them, there's nothing he can really do.
Yeah, so unfortunate in that situation there. I think with this Lord, with this lead, if Spirit is able to just, you know, play it perfectly, I think this might be a game-winning Lord.
All right, so Team Spirit, 5K gold lead, freezing lanes, waiting for Lord to come on the next push. Yangon Galacticos, they got to play it safe. They do at least have the Feathered Airstrike. They have some answers for shredding things down, but the way they approach these team fights has to be huge. Let's take a look at this. Watch for Stitch here. He comes in so late to this fight. I mean, at this point, I feel like the fight's already over. Blink's gonna die. Stitch uses the shift and just gets caught. I mean, walks right into it. And the thing about the gold lane Sora is you need to find the angles as well, like Kid Bomba's been doing. You need to not, you gotta kind of catch them off guard a little bit, right?
Yeah, the funny thing is it was a 4v5, but they were the ones engaging. So that's going to be Blink again, isolated, trying to distract, trying to buy time for his team, but let's see, will it be worth it?
Here's another thing, Blink, it's okay to do the whole suicide of Hilda thing in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. When you're this deep, you cannot get caught up alone like that.
Another airstrike spent. Kitbamba is in the area of Yangon Galacticos. They took down the turret top side with the Lord charging. And Spirit, they want to siege bottom side, seems like.
All right, Team Spirit. A big miss through in.
Oh, Spirit is able to hold on. They were able to get the clear, Yangon Galacticos. So, again, great defense there. But still, Spirit, they know that they can play the patient game. They're ahead 7,000 gold. In a minute, the next Lord will come up, and they can just play, you know.
They don't have to rush it.
Exactly.
They don't have to rush it at
with
all.
their tempo.
Yeah, I mean, with the 7,000 gold lead and the composition that they have, it's comfortable. You have an Esmeralda. You have a Hiko who can turn into Sora. You have the Eve. I mean, you have the full package, and Yangon Galacticos, reality or not, they are behind, and especially in terms of their front liners. Ying is the only one who can actually take any damage right now. Hilda just got third item in. Luckily, Ying finally does get dominance in, so a little bit tankier, but outside of that, Han's not outputting the damage. And if Han can't get to Sunset Lover, can't get to Hiko, who's 4-0-5, let me have you at that. I mean, how do you even catch Hiko at this point? You have the dashes, you have the Terrify. There's no way that Han can fully connect. It feels like they're running out of answers at this point.
Yeah, again, with the lack of crowd control from the side of Yangon Galacticos, it's going to be very tough to lock Hiko down. Here comes the Lord. And Yangon, they're attempting, but will they find the angle? Let's see.
In my mind, I'm wondering, is this a do or die? Is this the Lord that Yangon needs to completely commit to? They probably could defend it, but if they lose too much here, it's rough.
Uh-oh, that's going to be the engage. One shot jumps in. Ying in the back, Blink. Oh, Tsunami Slam in the back. Oh, shifting closes out. RWM pops in the back. That's going to be Blink's run to provide the damage. Han, though, will be taken down. It's going to be a 2-for-0. And Spirit, they march on as Stitch is going to be the next one on the chopping block. Pops the Purify. Lina and Blink, can they defend?
It's definitely going to be tough. It's 20 to 30 second death counters on the side of Yangon Galacticos, and there's already cannon minions on the base.
With the Lord top here, again, the Hilda is trying to delay.
Blink up in the top side as well.
Yeah,
Delay.
exactly. Trying to delay, just trying to delay. and seems like he will fall. And Spirit, with this Lord still rather healthy, they look to secure game one.
Yeah, Han just comes out, but it's not going to be fast enough.
Oh, done and dusted. Team Spirit in this first best of 5. They take game one.
Game one cleanly, going to Team Spirit. Yangon Galacticos, they started off great there. It was a good few minutes, but quickly Team Spirit took control. They were comfortable losing in the laning phase for the first 3 or 4 minutes. And then once Team Spirit took control, Yangon just started making these small mistakes and more mistakes, and it built and it built. And in my mind, I don't think that last Lord was the hill to die on. I think they probably could have defended against one more push and tried to extend that game a bit farther, but they took the risk, and the risk did not pay off.
The risk did not pay off, and let's see here, the reset, the adjustment from Yangon Galacticos. Again, panels, it's still a best of 5, but it feels like it's going to be a long day for us. But I like what Team Spirit has shown us in game one. They show discipline, they show simplicity.
Yeah, I mean, in that last fight, it was pretty much the cherry of the whole match there, going in one by one, making bad fights. I'm wondering if the panel agrees with us. LaFell, Gideon, Wolf, how we feeling about that first game?
First of all, thank you very much, Trex, as well as Gani. And yes, honestly, we do agree with you. I jot down quite a few things that I hope you gentlemen can help me out here, because there's a few things that I do want to bring through. Well, number one is the Sora. What do you call it? The emblem setup. The emblem setup. The use of the Harley as well as Ying honestly made one mistake that really turned things around and gave the opportunity for Team Spirit to come back in. So I'm going to talk about that mistake first, where in the first instance of the turtle, we can definitely see the idea was Han get a kill, right? Han get a kill, and then you go over to the turtle. But on the second turtle, Ying made a mistake where he tried to zone everyone away, but he's far away from his team, dies, did not give an opportunity for Han to get any kind of kill, either to Sao or Sunset Lover, and it's kind of downhill from there. Like, what do you guys think happened in that second turtle fight that just went downhill for Yangon Galacticos?
I think, let's lay down the structure for it, right? Because when Yangon Galacticos are looking to actually approach TS, a lot of it just comes down to who are our main targets. We're all, from minute one, we saw that they were looking to get Sunset Lover. They were also trying to slow down One Shot. And eventually, I think that TS made the right choice of, hey, let's just switch our attention here. This Hilda's really annoying. We have a bunch of ults, and they aren't putting themselves in positions, except for Hilda, to be in our faces. Let's punish the Hilda first.
And now to add to what LaFell have said before you mentioned those stuff, I think it actually represents the formation battle that happened in that game. I believe that Team Spirit was able to win over Yangon Galacticos just plainly because of their stellar positioning. The formation that they did in the mid lane, where you saw that it was Kid Bomba manning the front lines, and then you also have that Eve box that separates the damage dealers of Team Spirit from the damage dealers of Yangon Galacticos. Yangon Galacticos had to run a mile and get bombarded by the Eve ultimate as well as the damage from One Shot before they are able to catch the Eve. The formation battle is won by Team Spirit, and that was quickly represented by the second turtle, that you mentioned when Ying was overshooting for his team.
Yeah, because I do want to talk about the rotation as well, because Harley, when you're going up against a lineup that does not have a marksman, does make it quite difficult, but we will talk about that just a little bit later. For now, we're going to be talking about the MVP coming in from Team Spirit. We're going to check out who is the MVP by our official gaming phone, Realme, and it is going to be a One Shot. Though I got to say, I kind of feel like his KDA has been statted a little bit. There were some kills that he kind of got for free, Gideon.
Oh yeah, for sure. And especially on the Leo mode, it's just so easy to get the freebies when it's like, oh, you don't have a flicker, you have no way to run away, and you're below 50% HP. Tell me more.
The coolest passive name ever, probably. Oathbreaker. That's pretty good.
See, Leomort is just a cool hero.
Yeah, he's just a cool and I would say edgy hero. You know? Yeah, very edgy.
He's a nightmare.
Yeah, he's a nightmare actually. What we do know about this Leomord is that he played it so well. I think that he is one of the better performances that we've seen with the Leomord. The way that he gets into the fight, but also you have to remember that he's playing up against the Hilda. So I think the Team Spirit as a whole was able to protect this Leomord from being from lagging behind when it comes to the farming. Because usually when you go for the assassins up against the Hilda, you usually struggle. But in this case, it wasn't. It wasn't.
We're going to be looking at the highlights here, and this is where we want to talk about the rotations as well as what they were supposed to do, because this was the fight at the second turtle. They were able to isolate Ying, and then we can see like everyone was far away. In fact, I gotta say, Team Spirit did a good job of understanding where Han is and playing away from him, because looking at my notes, after 7 to 8 minutes, Han was invisible. There was nothing this Harley could do, and why is that?
A lot of it is just making sure that Han is in a position where he can actually do something, right? Because again, as much as he wants the dash, as soon as people kind of figure out, wait a minute, he's coming from the tri-brush, we can immediately start pushing towards the tri-brush while shoving him into the rest of his team because he's playing in very linear manners. Oh, I need to be in range so that Lina can actually combo with me and we can find the one-shot. We can find one-shot maybe. Or we can even look towards Sunset Lover if he's in range. But then we need to talk about the ways that they're approaching, because of the geography of the map, attacking through the mid lane, knowing that the Lord is on your side. And more importantly, this is where Kid Bomba gets to do whatever he wants, right? How many times was a Falling Star Moon targeted towards Lina because he just so happened to not check a bush?
Geography is such a cool word to use in this particular scenario, because it's actually what you can see. It's the way that Team Spirit is playing the map of the mini parts of the skirmishes, where you put the real world manipulation so that the Harley, if he tries to jump the Yim or this Leomord, he cannot really freely hit with the first kill. Although he can pop the ultimate, he cannot supplement the damage afterwards. And when that happens, you can see that Leomord already has lifesteal his way out of the situation.
Speaking of geography, you got to talk about clouds, and I feel like we got to talk about the elephant in the room here, Stitch on this Sora, because I look at his emblem setup and it's Rupture, Festival of Blood with the Fighter emblem. So clearly he wants to do a little bit more damage, but when we see Hiko, his emblem setup is all defense, but he still did a lot of damage. Do you guys feel like it might have been a mistake for Stitch trying to get a little bit greedy, thinking that he could win the 1v1 against Valentina?
I think that most of the gold laners have chosen Temporal Rain as well on the Sora. I would say
usually a bit defensive, not the Rupture.
That's actually true. You know what? Maybe in this particular scenario, yes, it is. Especially because you're looking at a fighter setup as well from Team Spirit. There's no hero that you can really burst like immediately with your hero. And also, if we're looking at YG, they really don't have that burst kind of strategy. Even when you can say that Farsa as well as Hardy, they are quote-unquote burst, they're not like actual immediate nukes where it just, deletes the hero. So maybe, yeah, the Rupture did not work in that regard.
Personally, I think the way to look at it is because of Sora's passive, actually. Whenever you have extra attack damage or max HP, you convert it to the opposite depending on which form you switch. And that's why Stitch, early game, I'm looking to be in that lightning form. I'm looking to win out the lane, maybe get a couple of ultimates. Later in the game, immediately he's thinking, oh man, if Ying misses his engagement, I gotta be the one. And that's why his setup wants him to actually survive deeper into these fights.
So now my question to Wolf here, because I feel like Yangon Galacticos, their draft can actually work if they have a lead. Yes. But realistically, how much of a lead they actually need to make sure that they can deal with Team Spirit's draft?
That's an interesting question. I think it's not a matter of how much lead that they have. I think that keeping it steady at 2,000 for the first 8 minutes or 10 minutes is fine, as long as you're able to get into the front lines or select a proper target. Neither was true for Yangon Galacticos. Not only did they not get a good formation of skirmishes, they also couldn't find the right target to burst. Like, would you actually jump the Leomord? The Leomord can just go for the lifesteal and sustain himself even when you pop your ultimate on the Harley. Then, if you're looking at the Eve, well, it doesn't matter if the Eve dies, as long as the real-world manipulation is already put up. Is he able to pop his damage? Just the problem with not having an immediate burst on your team, the heroes that can actually just, throw their skills away and die afterwards, they benefit from it.
We're going to be looking at the goal graph here to really see the momentum of the game. And as our casters have stated, in the early game, it was actually looking quite good for Yangon Galacticos because, again, they controlled the mid. Make sure for the first 6 minutes, there were no rotations at all. But one turtle take coming in from Team Spirit, and that's where you can see the rise of Team Spirit controlling the map. There was a bit of a dip where they got a good fight for Yangon Galacticos in the river, but then after that, Team Spirit just controlled everything. So now for Gideon, looking at the game, what really caused this big spike of goal curve that made it so that there's really nothing that Yangon Galacticos can do?
Well, I think it really boils down to the performance of Blinken as well, Stitch, right? It was clear that Hiko was a better Sora than Stitch, and Kid Bomba arguably a better roamer than Blink, because he took that role so quickly because Sawa needed to be an anchor to protect and cover angles from the Harley. That's why Kid Bomba is allowed to kind of be like this Hilda, get it in people's faces, start peeling, start creating opportunities. But from mid-game onwards, literally, any ults coming up from the side of Yangon is just ineffective if it's targeted.